Okie dokie, I'm just getting a few things ready, making sure that the live stream is started. And as always, just gonna have like a relaxing chat as people start tuning in. Do let me know how you're going, how your Saturday has been. Hopefully, if you're holding the same coins as me, then your Saturday has been going fantastic. And definitely make sure that you smash that like button, helps with the algorithm, helps with people finding the stream. And do let me know, yeah, how you're doing. I really like to know that you're doing well. And do let me know what you did today. If you've already eaten dinner, do let me know what you had for dinner. I went hiking today, or not really hiking, it's more like a small excursion as we had like fantastic weather here in Switzerland, around 16 degrees. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, not something that we'd expect so soon, especially in February. Last week, I think we had like sub-zero degrees with a lot of snow, and now we've got like I had to get some sunscreen just to make sure that I don't look like a lobster for the stream. Polkadot is on fire. That's for sure pretty awesome. Hi, Eamon Coakley. Hi, Mark Webster, Guillermo Prado. Awesome. Hi, Vadioluca 61 and Mr. R. Really awesome. So I think we'll be starting like at 22, 23. Got some pretty awesome stuff to share with you guys. Of course, the biggest exciting news is ETH. ETH has done some phenomenal things. Polkadot 284 in March. Well, that'd be awesome. I wouldn't say no to that. That would be really cool. Got some news, maybe a bit sketchy news about Binance Smart Chain. I'd like to share with you, but more about that later on. So we've got 10 concurrent viewers in the chat. It's pretty cool. Watching. And yeah, there's the other thing that I'm also doing is I'll be drawing a winner from my previous video or a few videos ago. So if you haven't already, do make sure that you actually place a comment before I do the draw. I'll quickly show you which video it is so you can actually quickly look for it and place your comment so you're entered. So make sure you do that before I do the drawing because that's going to be too late. So it's actually this video here. Let's go on YouTube quickly. It's the following video. I'm not sure which one it is. It's this one here, the ETH price prediction, where I'm doing this giveaway. Do make sure if you want to participate and you haven't already, make sure that you place a comment in that video because I'll be doing a draw afterwards and selecting winner for a free Ledger Nano S. So it would be a shame if you haven't placed your comment there yet. So make sure you do that so you get actually one option to win. So that would be something that I'll be also doing today. The winner hasn't been selected yet. The winner will still be selected in this video. So I'll be doing that in a bit. Crypto and Co. Hey man, how's your day going? It's been fantastic. Went on a small excursion, made a fire, ate some like we grilled some meat and some sausages and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, the weather was fantastic. It's always great to get away from the computer from time to time, as I'm always like recording videos, editing videos, and I have to do that at the moment since I'm working like still full time, and I have to do that in the evening and on the weekends. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing this stuff here full time. And I've already quit my job, and I'll be doing this full time starting from May. That's awesome. I'm quickly looking at why I cannot see the chat at the moment. It's messing up a bit. Let me fix this. Otherwise, I cannot read your comments while I'm streaming, and that would suck a bit. I think someone said they were actually also hiking today. Sorry, I get distracted pretty easily if something's not working properly. I have to make sure that everything looks nice for the stream as I moved stuff around. All right, this is looking good. This is looking sweet. We can get started. All right, let me get back to your questions, and then in just like 2 minutes we'll get started. So I won't keep you any longer, but make sure that everyone's tuned in before we start. BNB $1,000. I think BNB is gone on a run. There are a few things I'm not too happy about, but I think that's understandable, and I'll be talking about that in this video. Talking about wash trading and stuff like that, maybe some shady stuff happening on the Binance chain to maybe pump up the numbers. So I don't think it's going to impact the price of BNB too much, but it's going to be interesting. Where was that with the hike? Mark Webster, sorry, I missed that. Hike to beautiful day in Ottawa, Canada. Oh, that's really awesome. Canada is on my bucket list of the places I'd like to go. Really like to do a road trip there. Maybe rent some kind of a caravan or camper van, and then explore the wilderness and hopefully be able to record videos on the way, because that's one of my biggest goals, to become something like a digital nomad, living ever like anywhere, not being rooted in one place, but being able to travel the world, make the videos, do other things like freelance work, and especially in the cryptocurrency space. So I'm mostly going to be still in the cryptocurrency space. But yeah, want to visit Canada and explore the wilderness. Crypto & Co, the little thing behind you shows the price of coins. Damn, what is that? It's actually called Lametric. It's a pretty cool little thing. Not sure if it's available worldwide. I think you can find it here. It's called Lametric. Lametric time Wi-Fi clock, and I think it's pretty cool. It's a bit pricey, but I got it as a gift, so that was really awesome. And I think the cool thing is that you've got this. Oh, I think I have to show you my screen, otherwise you can't see it yet. So here, this is what it looks like. It's called Lametric Time Wi-Fi Clock for a smart home. And the awesome thing is that you also get like this kind of application on your phone, and you can download many different apps. So you can have like clock, weather, radio, cryptocurrency prices, subscriptions, and a lot of other things. And it just syncs automatically with the Wi-Fi. So when you set it up, you can just use the Wi-Fi password at home, and it just connects with the internet. So I think that's pretty awesome. I got it as a gift to include in the streams, to maybe add a little bit of a spice and make it a bit more lively, and maybe I was thinking at some point that would be really cool, is to have some kind of input box underneath my videos where people could like type messages and have it appear on this device. I think that would be a really awesome way to interact with the audience and have people like put messages behind me. But yeah, I would have to think of a way to so that not just like swear words appear and just random stuff. So I was thinking about doing something like that. All right, enough rambling. Let me get started with this video, as it's 25 past. As you know, in Switzerland, we're like an atomic clock, always on time. I know that's something that Ivan on Tech always says, but we're actually like an atomic clock. So that's, of course, the feeling that everyone gets after buying ETH, and it goes up in price. Now, remember the first time that I bought some crypto back in, like as a serious investment back in 2017. I mean, the first time I bought was 2015, but when I started really seriously investing was back in 2017. And I remember buying like my first BTC and it went up like just a few dollars and I just like felt like a genius investor. And I'm pretty sure many new people in the space, they also feel like that. They buy some crypto and it goes up a little bit and they already feel like a genius. I mean, everyone in the bull market is a genius, since it's really difficult to pick a coin that doesn't perform that one. But yeah, I mean, as long as everything is going up, it's awesome. And and I think it's really cool. I've got some people from the stock market that are just like going crazy at the moment with the amount of gains they've made. They're just going like bazooka. They just can't really imagine like having double-digit gains like day after day. They just think it's like crazy. It's a scam, and they just can't believe their eyes. So if you're new, just sit back, relax and enjoy the roller coaster. It's definitely going to be a roller coaster up, and don't be freaked out. One of the biggest dangers that people do is that they sell way too early, and the other one is that they don't sell at all. So have an exit strategy, but make sure that you place your price targets really high, but also make sure that you take like you skim always a little bit of profit on the way up, as that's the best way to maybe buy back on dips and make sure that you don't miss out completely. Megazord, hello everyone, I'm a little late. No worries, we just started right now, so you're basically on time before I was rambling. All right, so now I think what I'll do is just first quickly look at ETH/USD, look at where it's going, and celebrate a little bit that it just broke past the 2,000 US dollar range, and this is just beautiful, really beautiful. So in yesterday's live stream, I was saying we had to actually blast past this super strong resistance of 19. So I think this is pretty good. And at the moment, we're like slightly below $2,000. And I think that isn't too bad because we already broke past. So as I mentioned yesterday, it's a very strong psychological resistance. And I think it's normal that we're gonna have a few retests of this 2,000 US dollar range before we actually manage to blast past and reach next resistance. That's always the case in any type of market, but especially in the volatile market of the cryptocurrency space. So many people are thinking that this is going to be the end, everything's going to drop, or it's just day traders. Many people might also have their targets at $2,000 and they just go all out. Doesn't really matter. All in all, I think it's great that we had this touch of the 2,000. We actually broke past. We've got a new all-time high of $2,062, but I think I've got it on Coinbase. Not all exchanges are the same. So now I think what would be pretty cool to see is if we have a bit of a retest of this support to bounce back. So I think something similar is going to happen as we saw before. So we had these retests of the $1,860 level a few times, and after the retest we'd have a bit of a correction. So if you're still looking at accumulating a little bit more, I mean, basically in my opinion the accumulation phase has long passed, but if you're scared of missing the boat, then maybe you can think about accumulating at these levels. But it's still pretty hot. I mean, most people that bought back in 2020 already have like yeah, 10x, more than 10x gains, nearly 20x gains, which is pretty cool. All right, so I think what I'll quickly look at is what are the price targets that we can estimate, and the way that I do it, because we don't really have any previous price history to base our targets upon, because we're in completely new territory. I mean, it's like completely unexplored, like someone going into the Amazon and discovering new wildlife. You don't really know what you're going to expect. And the same thing with ETH at the moment is going into completely new territory. We have surpassed the previous all-time high by quite a margin. And now we're going to have to figure out, okay, what is the next price target? So now I think what is pretty cool is to use something that's similar to the Fibonacci extension. And this Fibonacci extension, it basically takes the rules of nature and shows it very nicely in a graph. And I mean, it's not set in stone that the price should reach those levels, but very often it's like it happens. And it's also very often a self-fulfilling prophecy because many traders use that. So if you actually, it's called trend-based fib extension. I mean, if you use TradingView, I think this is pretty cool too. And what you do have to do is you select the bottom of the rally. So that would be the lowest point where we had two touches. We had one on the 13th of December 2018 and on the 15th of March 2020. So fantastic opportunities back then to accumulate. Then you bring it to the previous all-time high, and then you bring it all the way back down again. So I'm going to bring it down here. And this actually helps us paint some future resistance lines. And it's always great when you see that they touch nearly perfectly. And sometimes there's a nearly perfect touch. But I'll bring this a way bit forward so I can actually see it. So now we just broke past, and as you can see here, and I think this is the beauty of this Fibonacci line, is that this yellow one, this actually marked a pretty strong resistance. That was actually at the 1,850 US dollar range, and that is at the 1.272 Fibonacci extension line. Then the next one would be 1.618, which is a very, very popular one. And basically the statistic says that the likelihood that the price should actually touch that and rebound from that is pretty high. So if you want to set some sell orders, I think what is pretty cool is to use this extended Fibonacci extension and then place your sell orders a little bit lower. And then you can actually maybe profit from a pullback and then buy back at the previous extension. So here 1.61 would place us at $2,346. So in my opinion, that's the next target, next resistance for the price for ETH in the foreseeable future. So that's probably going to be the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Yeah, probably end of March, like mid March, end of March. That's my estimation. Then we're going to have like a massive leap from the 1.618 to 2.618. It's a massive leap, and that would bring us to $3,752. And I think this price is something we could probably see sometime June, July this year. So yeah, I'm gonna probably go back to that in June, July, and see how well these estimations went through. But that's that. It doesn't mean that the price can't retrace. So we were in this upwards channel and we broke out of it. So it's possible that we retrace since we're pretty far away from different moving averages. And yeah, it's very often that we do have a retrace, maybe a 30% retrace or something like that. And that was probably bring us back to one of these previous levels. So maybe the previous all-time high bring us back to $1,400. And my guess is that we're probably not going to fall much lower than the previous all-time high because a lot of buyers are going to be waiting and accumulating at those levels. So between 1,000 and 1,400. So probably between 1,193 and 1,400. So should we have a bit of a correction, maybe place some orders all the way from $1,000 upwards, and hopefully one gets fulfilled. Now, I think what's pretty interesting is always comparing ETH to what BTC has done. And actually, I did the exact same thing with the BTC price to see which of these levels it reached after surpassing the previous all-time high. So I've got the BTC USD chart open, and I've got the weekly. And I hope this isn't too small. So if we look at the previous, I did the exact same thing, taking from the lows back in December 2018 and pulled it back up to the previous high. So now what is pretty interesting is that the previous high that we had at 40,000, it's very close to this 2.618, and the next level would be 3.618, which would be 61,000, and then the level afterwards would be 73,000. But it shows that BTC has went way past its previous all-time high, reaching way above the 2.618. So if ETH does a similar pattern as BTC USD did, well, that would bring us to this 2.618, which would be $3,752. And that's, in my opinion, something that is going to happen. I mean, it's of course, I can't really say for certainty, as I don't really have a crystal ball and I don't want to be sued for giving financial advice. It's just my own opinion. But in all likelihood, ETH is going to be following the same path as BTC, because BTC is now experiencing the massive network effect of retail investors, institutions, hedge funds, and so on, looking for an escape out of the hyperinflation that is happening in the economy. Now, the thing is, ETH can offer a lot more possibilities, a lot more financial services to the unbanked. Maybe not the unbanked at the moment because of the DeFi fees, but definitely those that have cash. At the moment, unfortunately, the DeFi space is for those with a lot of money. Really, really unfortunate, because the idea behind the DeFi space is to bring a lot of people that maybe don't have equal opportunities, maybe from third world countries, into the cryptocurrency space. But yeah, having to pay $50, $100 in fees is not really something that's feasible if you only got like $500 or $1,000 to invest. And even $500 is a lot for like people in African countries, like in Nigeria or different Asian countries, where maybe the salary is going to be like $300-400 per month. So that is one reason at the moment why I believe the Binance Smart Chain is thriving so much, because it's offering a lot of people the opportunity to enter the DeFi space without having to pay these horrendous fees. But I'm going to cover the Binance Smart Chain a bit later on. I've also got a video planned about that, just going over the high level what the Binance Smart Chain is and how people can start playing around with it using the Binance Smart Chain as well as a testnet if you just want to play without using any money. So with that out of the way, let's continue. But before I do that, let's find the winner from the video. So actually, I think it's YouTube comment picker. So I'm doing this stream so you see that I'm not cheating in any way. And the video, I pasted it here already before, I believe. Is it here? Let me grab the video. So it's this one. So last chance, if you haven't already placed your comment under this video, do it right now. This is last chance. And I'll give you maybe 1 minute to do it, like super fast. And then I'll pick a winner. And I have to make sure that I don't pick myself, because if I pick myself, I just like do another pick. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this and I'm just gonna paste the URL here and I'm gonna do it. So if everyone's ready, I'm gonna find the winner of a Ledger Nano S. Now, of course, if the Ledger Nano S cannot be sent to you, I'll be sending crypto instead, or afterwards you can also tell me if you prefer to have crypto instead of the Ledger Nano S. You can decide one or the other. All right, so let's try and find one. Get YouTube comments. I think this is the correct way to do it. All right, so amount of comments 46. So if you place your comment there, you've got 1 out of 46 chances to win later on NOS, and that's actually pretty highest chance. No, I think one comment, it just looks for one comment. I think duplicate comments, it just uses, it counts it as one, in my opinion. One. Filter duplicate users. Filter comments on a specific text, exclude backlist users. What happens if I do that? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I could filter for myself, but let me know. Well, thanks for that duplicate. All right, get YouTube comments again. 43. All right, pretty good, pretty good. So Megazord, here where I live, monthly salary is $600. So where do you live, Megazord? $600? Are you living in Europe, or just let me know where you're living? But very good suggestion to filter the duplicate users. So let's start. I think everything is good. Start raffle and pick a random winner. Poland, awesome. Yeah, that's also on my bucket list to go there. Awesome. So I wish everyone good luck and I hope you win. Let me click this and look for one. Luke Fallon. Awesome, awesome. So I'll write to him in the comments and yeah, if he doesn't answer, I'm gonna pick another winner in a video. But that's pretty cool. Congrats to him for selecting. Yeah, Luke Fallon won this Ledger NOS, so I'm gonna let him know that. All right, let's get back to the content. There are still 3 more Ledger NOS that I'm giving away, so you might still have a chance for that. I'm doing that in one video that's going to be released, I think, on Monday, and then it's going to be announced there, and 2 more. So in total, I'm giving away 4, and it's like this is the first one of 4, and there's going to be 3 more lucky winners. But this is definitely not going to be the last ones because I definitely want to give back to the community to say thanks for being subscribed and just give a little bit, maybe someone a little bit more yeah, security on the way in their cryptocurrency journey. All right, so you might have heard about the new FinCEN proposes new KYC rules for KYC wallets, and I think this is pretty bad. It's not super bad, but I think it's definitely not great, especially for US users. I'm not really sure if this also affects Canadian users. Probably not. I don't think so, but I hope it doesn't. So basically, this KYC rules is basically if you remove your crypto from an exchange, you have to have your wallet like information say who you are. It's like you cannot have like an anonymous wallet. I think here he explains it pretty well from CoinDesk. Breaking US crypto users hoping to transfer their holdings from an exchange to their own self-hosted wallets may need to comply with new KYC requirements as the Treasury Department proposed a new rule on Friday. And this rule is, here he goes into it. After long wait, FinCEN has finally issued its new proposed rule extending AML regulation to non-custodial wallets. I really hate when they throw around their AML regulation because very often it's just hurting the retail investor and protecting the huge institutions. So it could be worse, but it's still a terrible rule in both process and substance. Here's what it says, what's wrong with it, and what we do next. So thanks a lot, Jake Chervinsky, for posting this. The rule would impose new regulations on virtual asset service providers like exchanges and custodians for deposits and withdrawals over 3K involving a non-custodial wallet. VASPs would have to record the name and physical address of the wallet owner. I think this is pretty bad. And one reason why I think this is pretty bad is because of the state of OPSEC, so also security. And yeah, the US, and I mean, not only the US, but many other countries are not like famous for their security concerning data privacy. I'm not really sure what company it was, but there was like one company, I think it was back in either 2019 or 2020, that got hacked, or a lot of data got leaked in the US. And I think it had like social security numbers. I'm not sure if it was a company that had to do with taxes. I really can't remember the name. But it just shows I really don't like the idea of having such information stored, especially concerning crypto, because it opens people up to like a lot of risks. So VASPs would also have to report any deposit or withdrawal of more than 10K to FinCEN in the form of a currency transaction report. FinCEN says these requirements are necessary to combat the financing of global terrorism, address transaction and money laundering. In other words, lobbying. Banks are extremely scared about the new cryptocurrency space, and they're trying to do anything to stop it. And I think at the moment, the US, FinCEN, all of these massive institutions are shooting themselves in the leg, preventing innovation in the cryptocurrency space. And before they know it, other countries are going to get like a massive head start. Yeah, I think all of the countries that are now supporting cryptocurrencies, having a pro cryptocurrency regulations, are going to have a massive head start. So if you're from a country that is not the US, you're super lucky. Okay, apart if you're from India, then I feel sorry for you because of the ban there. But if you're in a pro crypto country, then I feel really happy for you. I realize I'm in a very, very privileged position in Switzerland because we've got a lot of pro cryptocurrency rulings. We don't really pay any cryptocurrency taxes for amounts under 70,000 Swiss francs, which is around 75,000 US dollars. So, and even for the amounts above 75,000, it's like like super small amounts. I think if you've got like 250,000 US dollar in crypto, you would pay maybe 1,500 US dollar in taxes, or 2,000 US dollar in taxes per year. So I realize I'm in a very, very privileged position. Not many people are, but I do hope that the governments, your governments, will make sure and start working to facilitate cryptocurrency innovation. And I hope you manage to thrive with that. So it's definitely an unfortunate thing if you're from a country that is totally opposed to cryptocurrency, like maybe if you're from India. I believe if you're from Nigeria, they're also opposed to cryptocurrency. It's pretty bad there with the national bank like banning Bitcoin and stuff like that, and even turning the internet off. And if you're from the US, it's strange. I mean, you've got a lot of innovation coming from the US, but you've also got all of these backwards thinking regulations, similar to this one here, the FinCEN proposed rule extending AML. So I hope it doesn't come through. I hope this just fails and people realize that it's going back. Now, a funny story. I know I'm going to deviate a bit from the narrative, and I think a very good example of a country that didn't embrace new technology is Great Britain, and that was back. I think it was the beginning of the 19th. I think it was beginning of the 20th century with the automobiles, and they had like massive engineers, production. They created a lot of new automobiles, but they introduced a really stupid rule, and that was with you had to have two people in the car, and one person had to run ahead of the car with a flag, and you had to make sure that no one was standing in front of the car. And this stupid rule prevented for the automobile industry to thrive in the UK. And what happened? The automobile industry then moved to the US, and there it became massive. And that's, in my opinion, what is exactly happening in the US at the moment. The US is like rolling over all of this cryptocurrency adoption, not letting people actually do what they want with their money. I think people are smart, but the governments think you're stupid, and they put all of these rules to protect you. And in the end, it's basically protecting the wealthy. So yeah, I do hope they stop, especially now with the Biden administration, which is hopefully pro crypto. I think I've read already a few things that looked pro crypto, so I think that's already a step in a good direction. So let's sorry, let's talk about Binance Smart Chain. So I've got uh, a video coming out, so I won't like spoil too much of that video, but I think what's pretty interesting is the massive amount of volume and transactions that is happening on the Binance Smart Chain at the moment. And I mean, it's understandable. Binance has like a massive position in the market. It's got a monopoly more or less. It's one of the biggest exchanges with the most cryptocurrencies available, with the most trading volume. And with their monopoly, they can actually drive people away from Ethereum by raising the fees for removing ERC20 tokens to the Ethereum blockchain and like pushing people to go onto the Binance Smart Chain and use the BEP20 tokens. Now the thing is here is pretty interesting is for anyone that thinks the activity on the Binance Smart Chain is actually real, check this out. This one contract alone has 680,000 failed transactions spammed to it within the past 17 hours. And CZ Binance, please enlighten me and explain this obviously fabricated activity. So basically they're using bots. I mean, I can't really for sure say that it's Binance that's doing it. It just looks very fraudulent and yeah, something it's similar to wash trading where you just like pump up the volume to make it look like there's a lot of activity. And that is pretty bad for new investors that may go into it feeling that there's a lot of activity where the activity might be a tenth or 100th of that what it actually is. So here you can see like a lot of transactions that have failed, and these transactions then they show up as legit transactions even though they are failed. So it still shows as transaction volume on the chain even though it's not really legit transactions. So we all know that Binance has been wash trading the centralized, decentralized financial applications on BSC to fake user activity, but this taking the deception to a whole new level. If your funds are on BSC, be aware you're giving your custody over to a bad actor who will do anything to get ahead. So I think this is pretty interesting as well. Me personally, I mean, I understand at the moment DeFi on Ethereum is extremely painful to use, but Binance Smart Chain at the moment is offering super cheap like transactions and smart contract calls. So it does make quite a lot of sense that people are flocking towards the Binance Smart Chain. And Binance has been now copy pasting like massive amounts of Ethereum dApps and then running them on their own chain. And I think that they can do that because of their EVM. It's like Ethereum virtual machine. But it's like really terrible copy pasta. It's really terrible. I mean, if you look at the different stuff that they're doing, if you go onto dApp Radar and you look at Binance Smart Chain, and you can look at you can see. I mean, I really wonder who actually came up with these names. So here you've got PancakeSwap. I think that the most important one with 972 million US dollars in volume. Now it's questionable if they actually have that much in volume, but let's look at PancakeSwap. And let's actually look and see what it looks like. Open dApp. All right, so this actually looks like a clone of SushiSwap. Very, yeah, this looks like a clone of SushiSwap. So if we look at SushiSwap, enter app, it looks like a clone of SushiSwap, but with less functionality. But I think what's really cool, I mean, of course, it's not going to have all the functionality of SushiSwap, but what is really funny is that they just take one dApp and then they just copy paste it on their own chain. It's not like they use a lot of different Ethereum dApps. It's like they find similar ones. So maybe, for example, here we've got Goose Finance. I think Auto Farm is more or less Yearn Finance clone. Goose Finance is very similar to PancakeSwap, if I'm not mistaken. Um, it's more or less the same. I mean, if you look at it, it's like what seriously, it's just like changing the logo of the dApp, and that's it. I mean, and then they come up with like a stupid name, trying to mimify the vegetable dApps on the Ethereum blockchain. And I mean, you can just go down, and I mean, there's so many of you. You've got Bakery Swap, Ape Swap. I mean, who comes up with those names? Um, they create some kind of tokens that might be worth something, and then they like paste or create some like incredible yields for people to earn, and of course that brings a lot of people in it. But it's yeah, questionable indeed. And I understand they're trying to like create the idea that there's a lot that's happening on the Binance Smart Chain. And this actually looks like Sushi Swap version 1. This actually looks like Sushi Swap version 1 if you ask me. Sushi Swap version 1. So basically they've got Sushi Swap normal and Sushi Swap classic. So this actually looks like Sushi Swap version 1. It's more or less a direct clone of Sushi Swap with a few things changed around. And I think this is important for people to realize that there's not a lot of new innovation happening on the Binance Smart Chain. It's basically the same thing. People are earning some some yield that might be fake. I mean, anyone can create an ERC20 or a BEP20 token and say, all right, it's worth like $1. As long as people don't sell it, yeah, it might keep that value. Let's look at the last one, the ape. So I think that looks like, let me guess, I think this one looks like Sushi Swap, the new version. I think it looks like Sushi Swap. Oh my God. I mean, seriously, it's like they created some kind of DeFi app generator, and it just like came up with some random names and random logos and tried, and it's just like it got beyond stupid. Beyond stupid. But let's go back to the other stuff. I think I've ranted enough about Binance Smart Chain. I might make a video where I try a bit out, but at the moment, me personally, I'm not really willing to give my money to a centralized organization running a smart contract blockchain, and that is using some unethical practices to bring a lot of value onto their platform. I mean, trading volume, and in the end, they're just like copy pasting the stuff from Ethereum blockchain and not even doing a good job of it. Not even doing. I mean, seriously, I just get sick of it with those with those stupid names. PancakeSwap. I mean, at least this. I mean, at least the ones on the Ethereum blockchain actually have a bit of style. I mean, you've got Sushi Swap, you've got the Yearn Finance. They're all from different developers that have been in the space, but I don't think any of the Ethereum developers would be caught dead developing for the Binance Smart Chain. So yeah, let's close all of this garbage and let's go back. Let's see what I still got in stock for you guys. I've got some pretty interesting stuff, a bit of random stuff for you, as well as maybe a few suggestions on people that you can follow, because I think that's pretty cool. Especially if it's like super low key underground smart contract devs on the Ethereum blockchain. I think those are pretty good people to follow because they might talk about some new gems so you get that from the source, and I think that's pretty cool. On another news, Gene Simons buys $300,000 worth of Cardano because it's cheaper than Bitcoin. With ADA trading under $1 and gradually making a swap to new highs, I think ADA actually broke past $1 mark. It's at $1.70, and I think he actually bought sub $1. Me, I'm really happy with my Cardano buy. I'm a big proponent of the Cardano blockchain and project. I think they're doing fantastic things, and in my opinion, I think there's going to be several blockchains, smart contract blockchains that are going to dominate the DeFi space. I don't think Ethereum is going to be the only one. And I think the reason why Ethereum is still as popular as it is because it's very lucrative. It's just not lucrative for retail investors. So if you got like 50,000 US dollars or 100,000 US dollars, you can use DeFi apps with no problem. I mean, who cares about 50 or $100 in smart contract fees if you're transacting with 100K or 200K plus? I know it's really terrible for retail investors. If you're doing anything under $10,000, it makes no sense to use DeFi on the Ethereum blockchain. But if you're a whale, if you've got like more than 50K, I mean even more than 10K, you can like place it on different yield farming platforms and earn like a fantastic return. And you don't really care too much then about the ETH fees, because I mean in the end the fees don't really change if you're transacting with $100, 1,000, 100,000, a million. You might have some slippage if you're trading on a DEX, on a decentralized exchange, but in the end you won't have any difference in the fees. The fees are there for any code, doesn't really matter the amount. I don't even calculate. This is a little bit egg in the face for Ethereum. Anything coming from Vitalik on ETH2 and sorting out those fees. To be honest, I don't really think so. I think Binance Smart Chain is definitely gonna take maybe a little bit of the cake, or the not the cake. It's gonna take a little bit of the market share of ETH, but I don't think too much. I think it went too fast. It doesn't have the history. It doesn't have the backing from many developers. You're not going to have like super smart developers going and developing some really cool innovation on the Binance Smart Chain. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't think ETH is going to struggle too much with the fees. I don't think it's too bad for people that have a lot of money. It's just terrible for those that don't have that much money in the DeFi space. It sucks. It's like to use DeFi, be rich, don't be poor. It's really terrible. But yeah, I think it's a chance for other blockchains, smart contract blockchains, to take up the pace, grab a healthy portion of the DeFi market share that Ethereum is holding at the moment. It gives Polkadot a chance, it gives Cardano a chance, it gives some other chains that are completely decentralized a chance. Binance Smart Chain might have a chance. It really depends if people value decentralization or not. It's going to be interesting. I don't think Binance Smart Chain is going to overtake everything and become like the number two and overtake Ethereum. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But I do think it might get a little bit more traction. I mean, Binance just has massive amounts of funds to throw at that. Talking about ETH2, there's one piece of news that's just like small. It's nothing directly about the Ethereum 2.0 phase 1. It's just about the Berlin hard fork. Let me see if I've got that here somewhere. Yeah, here. So Ethereum developers have scheduled the Berlin hard fork for April 14th at block height 12,244,000, and the hard fork includes various optimizations for contracts, including gas efficiencies, updates to how code is read by the Ethereum virtual machine, and other changes to protect against DDoS attacks. So this might give a bit of relief concerning the ETH fees. I don't think too much, just maybe like a tiny bit. Yeah, IP 5059, it's still a debate if the miners want to improve, like implement it. It's something that I've been talking about for ages and it's still not implemented. The phase 1 is probably going to be sometime October, November, December this year. That's phase 1. And phase 2 is probably going to be sometime end of next year. And maybe probably between phase 1 and phase 2, you're going to have phase 1.5, which will allow people that are locking their ETH in the Ethereum 2.0 deposit contract to withdraw their ETH. But until phase 2 happens, we won't have any transactions on the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. That means probably until the end of next year, we're still going to have these massive fees, with maybe a slight reduction should EIP 1559 happen. EIP 1559 might break the fees in half. So instead of a $50 smart contract fee, you might have only a $25 smart contract fee. Not fantastic, but still better than what we've got at the moment. Yeah. Um, if you haven't noticed, I think that's pretty fun. Is that the on crypto Twitter, the laser eye thing, and that is laser eyes trend storms crypto Twitter for 100K BTC. I think that would be pretty awesome. I mean, I'm definitely not an ETH maxi, I'm not a BTC maxi. I think most types of crypto are really awesome. I mean, I don't really hate any. Well, there's maybe one or two that I think really don't deserve the spot on the top 100 Bitcoin SV, but that's mostly because of the way that the founder is just an ass. But otherwise, I really am a proponent for most, nearly all of the cryptocurrencies that exist. So I think it's pretty cool that BTC is aiming for 100K, and I think BTC is a very, very important element for the cryptocurrency space, especially for the DeFi space, because BTC can serve so many purposes as a store of value in the DeFi space and in various DeFi dApps. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. They're celebrating and looking forward to the 100K. I think 100K is going to happen way sooner than what I predicted back in my video, my 5 coins for incredible wealth. I was predicting 100K by the end of the year, but now thinking of it, I think we might reach 150K, 200K by the end of the year. So I think 100K is possible sometime in June, July this year. And then, but that's still like pretty conservative in my opinion. I just don't want to throw too high numbers around. I think already 100K is already really awesome. But yeah, that's more or less a 2x from here. 2x, that's nothing in the crypto space. 10x, nothing less. And yeah, I think the last thing that I'd like to share with you, I think this is pretty cool. This is a developer I'm following. And if you haven't already used Hedgic platform, I think it's a really cool platform. And it's for trading, options trading. I made a video about it, but not too many people are that interested in options trading because it's rather complicated. And yeah, 0x Montevintomo is the developer of Hedgic, and it's been performing really well. So if you're interested in doing options trading, buy puts and calls, this is a really awesome platform to do it completely decentralized, no KYC necessary. And what I think is really cool is to follow different developers in the space, see what they're creating, and sometimes they drop some gems, they drop some new ICOs to follow. And yeah, so what she released, I believe it's a she, it's not really sure. I mean, it's possible that it's a guy. No clue about that. But here I'll just say she talks about the development of the Hedgic platform, the 8 lessons of building in crypto, and 8 pieces of Hedgic long-term vision. So I think if you're either a cryptocurrency developer or you're just interested in crypto in general, I think this is a pretty cool thing to look at. Yeah, and also to a person to follow. So me, I'm following it. If you're interested, you can also look at what she is doing. So I'll just paste this in the chat in case you're interested. If not, never mind. So yeah, that was it for this video. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, and I'll stay for a few minutes, answer some questions, and then I'll go and make myself some dinner as I'm really hungry. Got any questions? Fire away. I'll be online for maybe 3-4 minutes, and then I'll go offline. No questions come, I'll just close the stream, and I will wish you a great end of the evening, depending on what time zone you've got. Here it's 9 p.m. Awesome. No questions. I'll just close the stream. Enjoy your weekend. Hope you do something fun tomorrow. And yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled for the video that will be released on Monday. Maher Labaya, sorry for mispronouncing your name. Is Bitpanda a good platform? Yeah, I use Bitpanda all the time. I recommend using Bitpanda Pro because you get lower fees. So if you go, you've got the Bitpanda, but you've also got the Pro version. It's free. It's just called Pro. It's a little bit more complicated. Pradeep Karpetemi, big automobile company name in the world at the moment. I mean, I guess it would be Tesla, but I mean, depending on if you're talking about market cap or if you're talking about how many cars they're creating, I couldn't tell you which company is creating the most amount of cars. I mean, you've got BMW, Audi, if you know other ones. Yeah, but I think from the market cap, it's probably Tesla, even though, in my opinion, they're not a car company, they're an electric company. So, yeah, my Bitpanda, I think, is pretty good. Bitpanda Pro. What would happen to my ETH when ETH 2.0 goes online? I guess that's you mean online. Actually, nothing is going to change. Ethereum 1.0 is just going to merge into Ethereum 2.0. You probably won't even notice the difference. It's going to be a flawless movement. It's possible that the ETH 1.0 coins would just like kind of disappear because the Ethereum 1.0 blockchain is going to be moved like into the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. So your wallet is going to be the same, and then when you're transacting, then it will be swapped into Ethereum 2.0, but you won't really notice the difference. All right, let's the largest automotive companies. Toyota, 10 is the biggest one. Volkswagen, Daimler, Ford Motor. Yeah, those are the biggest one. But it's funny that they don't actually have the largest market cap, but Toyota. I used to have a Toyota. All right, awesome. Glad that you joined me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Have a nice Saturday evening and enjoy your Sunday. Hope it's relaxing. And yeah, catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.